Greetings, Legionnaires. This is a video I've wanted to make for a very long time, but considering the political situation with Donald Trump's glorious victory and the controversy with Richard Spencer, I did not want to make this video because people will always misunderstand my intentions. But I want to elaborate on this because it's very important to understand my teachings. Now, first of all, if someone asks, is the golden one racist, when it comes to the genetic, like the biological component of the world, as it were, this is not up to me to decide. Reality looks the way it looks, and if I'm gonna be intellectually honest, especially when it comes to gym training, yes, the genetic component is large. It is large in whatever you do in life, and that includes obviously how a society is being built. So a race realist would be more suitable. And obviously I've always been honest with this when it comes to gym training, that everyone doesn't have the same ability to attain a certain amount of muscle mass, because your individual genetics is playing a large part in that. Now, the thing that really bothers me is when subhuman, degenerate, pleb-tier dogs, beta leftist or the mainstream media example says, oh, the golden one is a racist. This bothers me for two reasons, which I will now elaborate on. First and foremost, as I said before, Jet Li was a great role model for me growing up, and I'm excruciatingly thankful for having had that role model, as it were. He's a perfect nationalist, the good kind of nationalist, and looking at other role models that has been present throughout my life, and a lot of your lives as well, really degenerate and decadent artists and actors out of Hollywood who's promoting alcohol and drugs and chasing women, etc. Really destructive and decadent lifestyle. Then you had Jet Li, the perfect nationalist guy, standing up for his nation against whichever aggressor there was. In many of Jet Li's films, of course, it's Japanese or Imperial, British or whatever. He stands up for his own people because he loves his people. Doesn't mean he hates anyone else. And also, adheres to tradition, respects his elders, and protects the women and children. Acts as a very positive role model. Now, the thing here is that imagine if I have a Chinese guy adhering to my teachings and sees me as a good role model instead of Justin Bieber or some other guy who extols the virtues of a really decadent and degenerate lifestyle. And then imagine if some degenerate pleb-tier dog from the media or some sort of degenerate leftists are saying like, oh, you can't adhere to his teachings because he's racist and he's so mean to everyone. That is what bothers me, because imagine if someone had told me when I was 14 years of age that, oh, you can't have Jet Li as your role model because he hates everyone who isn't Chinese. That would have been a lie, but imagine if I had actually believed that. Then I would obviously have been sad and had to perhaps turn to other role models. And that is the same sort of thing now, when you have a lot of non-white guys throughout the world adhering to my teachings, and then some little fucking pleb-tier dog comes to them and says like, oh, you can't adhere to his teachings. That bothers me. The second thing is, in all actuality, that I want to make it clear that everyone who is white isn't magically the best thing ever. The Sicilian philosopher Julius Evola criticized racism, I don't know what to call it other than racism, in the sense that the purely biological, because you don't take into consideration the race of spirit, as it were. So all whites obviously aren't equal, and I don't want anyone to think that I love all whites so much because just because the way they're born. There are subhumans of all races, to quote Joseph Goebbels. There are plenty of subhuman, degenerate, pleb-tier whites, such as this guy right here. You can see, oh, this is a white guy, but you can also see on him that he is inferior when it comes to the spirit. And the spirit, I call it the fire, or the thing that animates a human. Not everyone is equal in that regard, and this is so important to stress. And to give another example, I think Paul Wagner of Wolves of Vinland is doing great with this. He's saying like, you know what, don't think that you can join us just because you're white. You have to go through the prospect phase and you have to prove yourself to us, so we just won't accept you because you're born in a certain way. And I feel the same way. Like it doesn't matter if you are the purest white, the oldest aristocratic lineage in Europe. If you're a degenerate, that doesn't matter. You need to back up your pride with, you know, that fire inside of you. And that is what the glorious pill is about. Imagine if I said that, oh, I'm already the most glorious of everyone, so now I'm gonna stop training and I'm gonna start watching porn and I'm gonna do drugs. You can't do that. You can't have that mentality, because then you become decadent and weak. You need to keep pushing. So yes, everyone should be proud of their heritage, but you can't rest on ancient victories either. You need to promote your own story, your own gloriousness. So you say like, oh, whites are so great, yet you need to be great also. And that is the point of this. And also in regards to the glorious pill, everyone can take it. It is not based on race. Now most people will not take it because it means, you know, accepting personal responsibility for who you are and for your actions. So it's much more comfortable to watch porn, to do drugs, participate in an alcohol culture, and to not go to the gym. I understand that people don't take the glorious pill. Now, with all that said, improve yourself. It doesn't matter if you're the purest white there ever was, whose aristocratic lineage goes back to ancient Rome. I don't care. If you're a degenerate, you're a degenerate, and I don't accept degeneracy. I want you to be the best that you can be. And who am I? I'm the glorious elf of optimal wisdom. XXO.